Hello and welcome back, Josh, Sam, and anyone else who's watching to You Stay Classy, San Marino. We're back at the beginning of the next season. We've had a lot of comings and goings. We actually were given some money, not very much, but at least more wages. And so, yeah, here we are. I'll give you a quick rundown of things and how they are. So let's go to transfers. A lot of players out, a lot of players in. All these players have gone. Bartolo Enna, a player who you actually did see play. He's not got a club, but he left after getting 16 league goals for us, not bad. Vincenzo Zucchetti, an Italian, I think is he possibly also at Sammarinese? No. But anyway, he'd been at the club for 3 years, signing of mine. Actually, he was only there for 2 years, but he scored 8 goals, did pretty well, despite, I think at the time I signed him saying, I don't think he's going to be that useful, and he didn't prove to be much better than expected. He did well in Serie C, but not in Serie B. He's gone. Quattrini never really lived up to what I thought he possibly could and should have done. Did okay in Serie C again, but didn't really do much in Serie B, was injured too much. Zaffarani is the one I was thinking of earlier on when I said I thought he was Sammarinese. He has been at the club his entire career, but we have now released him. He did very well last year, 11 assists, 11 goals, but he is technically not good, so out he goes. He's got a lot of free kicks for us, so we'll hopefully be able to replace that with some of our other players, but yeah, he's gone, not got a new club, and I think, statistically he shouldn't get another club. He's terrible. Speaking of club legends, though, Alberto Maria Secondo, he has now left as well. He only managed to get 7 games for us last season. A combination of injuries and being the worst midfielder we have meant that he didn't join in very much. If you can hear noises outside, that's because they're building a building and I can't be bothered to shut the window because it's very warm. So yeah, Sam, he's gone. He was on quite a lot of money. I think he was on over 3,000 euros in a time when that was something like 10% of our budget. So he's gone. And good luck to him. He's a legend at the club. If we rebuild our stadium, it'll almost certainly be called the Alberto Maria Secondo Arena or something ridiculous like that. We also lost Vincenzo Ferrari. I didn't realise we had. But yeah, he did really well for us last season and I wanted to keep him. But he wouldn't re-sign. He wanted too much money, although it doesn't seem to have gone for very much more. And he's now joined 1860 Munich in the German 3rd Division. That's a shame because I liked him. He was good. We also said goodbye to Felix Ababio, a player who came in. He was one of my first signings, did well in the 2 Serie C divisions, but then couldn't really cut it at Serie B level. And so he has gone out the door when his contract expired. Thank you for your service, my friend. We then managed to make money on Edmilson Teixeira Barbosa, who just did dreadfully in his 2 games that he played for us. And never really broke his way back into the team. And you can see there that he's found more his level. He's dropped 2 divisions to play for Neapolis Fratesi. So he's gone to live in Napoli, which should be good for him. Enjoy the pizza, my friend. And he's on more money as well. So well done, fella. You've done well out of that. And we got 22k, so that's not bad. Another player that we sold was the Ghost Maltese goalkeeper who I signed and forgot about. He's actually gone up. He's gone up a division with Andrea. He's signed for them. I don't know if he's actually going to play for them, although he has played in the cup already. So yeah, well done for him, I suppose. He's gone onwards and upwards, and he'll be back in this division in a year's time anyway, because I'm sure Andrea will be relegated. Settembrini, a player who they kept saying had potential, but just doesn't have any potential. He played a few games here and there for us. He's not very good. So goodbye. We also then... Okay, so we brought in some money from co-ownership deals, and I didn't really know what co-ownership deals was, but it's essentially they buy the player, they pay half of... Right, so they basically buy the player in a year or potentially 2 years' time. They give you half of the deal now, or they give you a chunk of money now. So there you see we got 425,000 for Verga Granerud. He will stay with us for this season, and then at the end of this season, I'll be able to say no, I want to keep him, or yes, you can take him, and then they have to pay me some more money. So yeah, he will in a year or 2 he will go off to Juve Stabia, who have a B on their badge, I believe. Yes, fun hench B. And the same thing has happened with Petter Gustafsson. He's got a deal lined up to move to Livorno. So we'll get a little bit more money for both of those players, but that's good. But it's essentially they've bought him and loaned him back to us, and I'm pretty happy with that. Other players we sold was Mirko Crudeli, the goalkeeper, who I brought in from this Belgian club. He did pretty well for us last season, but I have moved him on for a fee, which is nice. And we sold Emmanuel Mutari on a free transfer to Reading. He's now playing in League One, where he's not playing well. So yeah, fair enough. Let the kid go do his thing. But anyway, it's the only player from Niger I've ever had since there was a guy on this game. I think his name, I can't remember what his name was, but they used to have a really good striker, Niger, and I don't think I've ever had another Nigerian player except for this guy. So cool. Now we've brought in some players. We've brought in even one player for money, although he's a very young player and he's in the youth team. So we'll go through them quickly. Hopefully this will show you that we have at least improved a bit. We've signed this guy, Argyris Konstantakopoulos. That's too much, but I haven't got a nickname for him yet. Big boy comes in from Atromitos, and he's looking good. I like him. He just is good. 6 foot tall, got all the attributes that I like. Nice. We signed then Jose Javier Caballero from Athletic Club, I think it was. Yeah, Athletic Club de Bilbao. Signed him on a free. He's pretty good for a 17-year-old. He's got a lot of worth, so I'm hoping that we can play him. He's probably not good enough for this division yet, but I'm hoping we can play him as our kind of like third or fourth sort of sub-striker, and he can come on, grab a couple of goals, and just generally improve his value. We've got him on a 3-year deal. He'll then hopefully make us some money in the future. Speaking of the future, this is a player for now. Harry Nijhuis comes in from Willem 2, or Willem 2, or however they say it. But anyway, he's our new defensive midfielder option. He's much better than Mutari was. Not great in the air, but he's very quick and good at defending. His tackling is good, so I'm pretty happy with him. We've also got Carlos Sanchez, who's come in as a right midfielder, someone who's actually technically able to play right midfield, which is fun. He's come in from the second division in Spain, where he didn't do very well. Hopefully he'll do a little bit better for us. But yeah, we're sort of scrabbling around for players at the moment. Our reputation is still pretty low. And our wage budget is still not very high, so I know that we're paying them on average a lot more than we were paying the chaps before, but it's still not going very far, that money. Speaking of, we've got a midfielder here, Blerim Shabani. He's not on very much money a week, and that's because I think we signed him from Albania. Oh no, in fact from the Croatian First Division. So Blerin has come in. He's pretty good. He's basically our backup midfielder. He'll be fine. He won't be great, but as I say, needs must. Mile Sovili, the other defensive midfielder we have, he's only 19. He's worth quite a lot of money. He comes in from Novi Sad, and he will be our backup defensive midfielder. He's not great at the defensive-y bits, but I think it's possible that because he's I don't know quite what it is, because he looks sort of like he's got all the stats you need. But yeah, anyway, he needs to improve. But he's only 19 and we'll get some money for him, he thinks. So that's good. Then we've got another centre-back, Jan Marchant, 6'2", 19 years of age, comes in from Lokeren. He's played not brilliantly in our pre-season, but he's an improvement on our defenders from before, so I guess that's good. Speaking of, there's Luis Ramos, another right winger, comes in from Porto, so he's got quite good pedigree. He's on a decent wage, worth quite a lot, only 19, and hopefully we can get some money out of him as well in the future, and some good performances out of him at this division, because I pointed out the Zaffarani, who got 11 goals and 11 assists, and his stats are nowhere near as good as Luis Ramos. So in theory, we've got two right wingers who are much better than we had before. Whether or not that comes through in practice is obviously another tail. Speaking of midfield, central midfielders, which I wasn't, Tamas Kus comes in, I think, from MTK, who is a good midfielder. I think he'll probably play on the right-hand side as our sort of attacking style midfielder. He's basically Felix Ababio, but 2 times better, which is good, maybe even 3 times better. He's physical, which is nice. He's actually got a little bit of ability. He can pass, he can sort of tackle. Why not let's improve his tackling? Why not let's? And yeah, another decent player. He's young. Again, we can probably sell him for money. Again, this is the beginning of the snowball effect, I hope. We actually need to start making some money from these players, but we actually brought in nearly £1 million worth. So slowly that ball will be rolling, and we'll get there eventually. We then loaned a player for the first time in a while, Thiago Soares from Brescia, who are, I think, they're in Liga A, Serie A. He's been dreadful in our non-competitive games this season, and I think his composure is probably the reason. He's good at penalty taking, apparently. They're making him work on heading, which for a 5'11" player seems a little strange. Maybe let's make him work on his composure. Why is that list not alphabetically sorted? Strange. Anyway, so he's okay. I'm hoping that he can actually freaking score some goals. I think we're not paying him any wages, so we'll see. It's just another option. And we certainly needed that from last season. We then signed Brian Diallo, a 15-year-old French striker from Brescia. From Senat Moissy. Signed him for 18k. He's in the under-20s at the moment. I'm hoping that he can sort of develop a little bit, and then we can start to move him into the first team. But yeah, finishing 14, composure 12 at this age, pretty good. If he can improve his physical stats a little bit, I think we'll have a player who we can then sell on for some money and potentially even make him play in the first team. So fingers crossed. We then signed a Bari player for free, Silvio Olivari, 6'7", on a big wage, but he's good and he played pretty well for them considering they got relegated last season. So we signed him on a free. We got him in there, and I think that he'll be a decent centre back for us. 6'7" as well. You can't go wrong. Gaetano Spinelli is the first left midfielder we have. He's coming on loan from Parma. He's, again, much better than the players we had. Still not really great. I mean, you'd probably want better passing there, and a couple of other things. What's he working on? Nothing. Let's maybe get him to improve his passing. But nevertheless, and his finishing is 4, which is why his attacking circle there is so small. But I have a good feeling about him, Gaetano Spinelli, so I'm good with that. We then signed another goalkeeper. The reason that we sold Crudeli was we brought in Daniel Insua, the Argentine goalkeeper, who is great at distribution. Otherwise, he's basically identical to Pettersson. And as we've already sold Pettersson in the future, I thought, well, why not we get in another guy as well? He comes in again from Puertolano, in the second Spanish division, where he played pretty well. I'm pretty excited about him. He's done okay so far, although we did have we had one cup game which was dreadful. I'll show you in a minute, and that's why his average rating at the moment is pretty low. And then just to bulk out the left midfield option, we brought in Miguel Angel Milano, another Argentine, not on too much money and worth quite a lot, so maybe we can move him on. His problem is his speed. He's actually sort of technically pretty good. He can't cross as well as I'd like. At the moment, I think we'll have him improve his crossing, although his speed is also a problem. He's also pretty weak. He's just a little weak boy, but hopefully we can make some money out of him at least. And then we obviously still have the players who we retained last year. It's slowly improving. Speaking of slow improvement, we drew the first round of the Italian Cup, 2-2 with Foggia from the division below. We beat them 3-0 on penalties though, so suck that, Foggia. And then we lost 4-0 to Genoa, who are a Serie A team, in the third round of the Cup. We weren't as bad as the 4-0 scoreline suggests. We didn't really have very many chances to score, but they basically were pretty efficient with their finishing. So there you go. We had a pretty decent pre-season as well. We've scrapped the silly money-making cups because it doesn't actually make you that much money. I tried to arrange one with Juventus Udinese, who won the Serie A last season, and some other big team, and I would have lost more money than I'd have made, which I thought was very strange. But anyway, So we played Juventus and we lost 1-0. We also played Serie A Sampdoria and we beat them, which was pretty nice. We had a few games against lower division sides. We lost against a La Liga team, Al Corson, and we lost against Udinese 1-0, who are obviously Serie A champions. So yeah, it's been a pretty productive pre-season. It's hard to really narrow down exactly who our first team is yet, but I think we'll go ahead now and we'll play Ascoli and Bologna, and we'll try and see if we're going to have a more successful season than last season, where we finished 13th, I think, in the end. But it was only on the last day of the season when we properly completed our survival. Now, we need to now just look at the team and make sure that we've got everyone in the right position. So we're going to start with Insuya. He's not played brilliantly, but we're going to give him his chance because that cup game is not really entirely his fault. We're going to have Olivari there, who's 6'7", as we remember. And I think I want Konstantakopoulos there as well. Granarud and Jovanovic. I'm not sure about Jovanovic. I think we might play with Colombini. Or maybe Villamors or Giannoni, maybe better than... What about Giannoni? Giannoni's going to take the place of Villamors. I might even sell Villamors if he's not really worth very much, but you never know. And then in midfield, what did we say? We said that Nijhuis would be our defensive midfielder. Who was my other boy? So Sanchez played very badly. I wanted to have... Well, I think Kus will be the one that has to play at the moment. We could... Who have we got on the bench there? We've got Solvi, Shabani and Ramos. Milano did badly, but we don't really have anyone to come on. Oh, I got Estevez. Estevez is worth a lot of money. Did we sell him as well? Oh yeah, he's been semi-sold to Cesena, but I think that happened 2 years ago. I actually extended his year with us. Extended him for another year here. Let's go with Estevez because Milano didn't play very well in that last game. He's the slow one, right? Because we like Spillane. Yes, so let's do that. I think that will be fine. For now, there's the strikers is the other option. Ciardelli, he's pretty good. Morelli last season did really well though, so I don't know. And Sarmiento continues to frustrate. He is left-footed, however. Let's go with Caballero on the bench, and I think that'll be fine. Okay, let's see what we can do. I don't know how good Ascoli are. We can just quickly check here. No, we can't. I'll check it in a moment then. Let's calmly say, come on, and then passionately say, I think there's more to come. And then pause it briefly to just check where the media think they're going to finish. 17th. So this should be a good yardstick for our progression as a team. I don't remember how well we did against Ascoli last year, to be honest. I feel like we might have had a couple of frustrating games against them. Oh, bad, it's bad, it's bad. Oh, but luckily, he's bad too. Right, what have we got? Nijhuis has injured one of their players, that's great. Granarud tackles, nicely done. Kus, Sarmiento. Kus to Sanchez. Sanchez hits the crossbar. Oh, that's annoying. But at least we're making chances this year. After the first sort of... the first half of last season, we created about 6 shots in that entire period. Colombini back to Insua. Big ball up. Ciardelli to Sarmiento. Sarmiento slips through Ciardelli. Oh, Sanchez follows up, but Brontignani manages to clear. The ball comes in from the corner, and they clear it. Sanchez in the middle, but it's back out to Sanchez. Colombini to Kus. Sanchez in the middle again, but nobody goes forward. And they clear. It's a little bit more promising, at least for now. Frasetti. Kus wins it. Sarmiento tries to go around 2, doesn't. Granarud tackled, but the ball falls to Kus. Sarmiento to Ciardelli, who hits wide. We're actually making chances in our beautiful pink kit. Sarmiento now. Sarmiento to Granarud. Granarud shoots for some reason straight into the arms of Fraschetti. You see, it didn't take me very long to make the team almost entirely non-Italian / Sammarinese. The Sammarinese part, less of a surprise. But this is inevitably what happens when Ben Wheatland is your manager. I've also managed to get quite a few South American players, despite not being able to sign any non-EU based players, because we keep picking up these youngsters who have had 1 year in some European club. Oh, Sarmiento nearly finishes there. So yeah, and the good thing about them is that they tend to be higher, like financially, they tend to be more highly rated. So fingers crossed we can start to make a little bit of money in that market. Sarmiento, the great ball over the top. Sarmiento goes around his man. It's 1-0. He looked like he was going to mess it up. He looked like he was going to take it too far and be tackled, but he went past Fraschetti easily. Good first touch, good second touch, and then he just kept going. I was like, no. But he put it away. San Marino 1-0 up over Ascoli. Granarud, can he cross? Can we get a second? Granarud, the ball comes in. Oh, they clear it. Comes off his own man. It goes out for a corner. Could have fallen into the net in another life. Olivari at the back post, 6'7". He's going to be winning a lot of headers. I'm hoping that he scores a lot of goals this season. I've done the same thing as I often do. Is I've promised people stuff for things that I don't expect them to get. So I believe our goalkeeper is on a sensational clean sheet bonus, but considering that last season we only kept, I think, 5, I think that's a revenue stream that we shouldn't worry too much about, or not a revenue stream, but an expense that we shouldn't be too concerned about. De Filippo, I did nearly sign Di Marco. You'll remember him from our 2 successful promotion campaigns, the centre back. But he agreed. He agreed to join for not too much money. But then I checked his stats, and he wasn't as good as any of the defenders we have. And even though I'd have liked to have brought him in, because I think he's still favoured personnel, and it would have been nice to just have someone who loves the club, I decided that it was probably a better use of our wage budget to get in someone who actually improves the team. Estevez shoots, but Fraschetti manages to save it. 67 minutes gone. I think we're going to make a change now. We're going to bring on Ramos. We don't have a left midfielder to bring on. The fitness in the club is shambles, really. We're going to leave that for now. Everyone else, we'll give it a few more minutes. But Ramos, maybe he can come on and mix things up down the right. Them playing... Are they still playing with their big diamond? Oh, the little diamond now. Oh, and they've scored. I was just going to mention that they're playing with that diamond gives them a man just in that space between the two defensive line, the defender and the midfield, and they go on and prove that by scoring. Good. Olivari to Constacancan. Sarmiento to Estevez to Kos into Cardelli. Okay, right, we're making a change. Cardelli's coming off and Kos is coming off for Shabani. Everyone else seems to be in fairly good nick, or at least good enough nick. Let's take advantage of that, try and push them for another goal. Colombini's fit enough to get there, and he heads it out. Probably the smart move, because number 6 was loitering with intent. This is their throw. Verrazzo to Bretanini. Ramos to Caballero. Heads over. His shoulder. Lorenzin turns his man. Goes for a chip. And unbelievable. Oh my God. What a turnaround for them. Was that him twice? Did he just score 2? No, Lorenzin scored 1. All right, fucking hell, man. Okay, well, that's an almost perfect chip because the goalkeeper really should have got there. Granarud, Estevez now. Estevez with the ball in the middle. Shabani. Oh, we just about score. Sarmiento immediately equalises. It goes in off the post, and we are very lucky that did go in. Shabani on his... Well, within about sort of 5 minutes of coming on, we've gone behind and then equalised, partly thanks to him. His assist off the goalkeeper there. Can we turn this around and get our win back, please? Can we have our win back? Tomasi, no, Tolu. Oh man, there was some space opening up for them there, but they chose the wrong option. Okay, the ball has been cleared. And how are they this many on us? Verrazzo, but a good save from Insoya. Puts it wide. 10 minutes remaining. They've got a corner. Caballero goes right through him. 85 minutes. Granarud to Sarmiento. Granarud. Sarmiento. Big ball out to Colombini. Into Shabani. To Caballero. Oh, it could have been a goal on his debut. On his debut. Shabani's ball comes in. Fernandez heads wide again, and we've got a corner. Here's a Shabani's corner. It comes in. Oh, and then Consta Capotiputu. Shabani's ball into Filippo clears. We've got 2 or 3 minutes now to get get a winner. Granarud to Estevez. Tomasi has it. Giacomini is going to waste a little bit of time with his strange spinny technique. But it's okay. Insoya has it now. Big ball to Ramos. To Colombini. Colombini down the right wing. What can we do with it? Nothing. And Estevez has injured one of their men. And it ends 2-2. I mean, the manner in which we ended up at 2-2 is not ideal. But we did end up getting an away point on our first game of the season. I'll take it. We're 8th. Wow, a lot of teams drew. But yeah, not an ideal result, but not the worst. We are going to play Bologna as well. Bologna having drawn their first game, 1-1. So we're better than them because we drew 2-2. We'll do that because it's only 3 days away. This league starts relatively late for one that has to play 42 fixtures and finishes in like June. So... yeah, we'll be cursed with short turnarounds until we get up into the Serie A. But yeah, okay, well, yeah, we'll take it. Not a bad first game. We obviously would have liked to have won, and I think we probably should have done. That moment of brilliance, that one little chip was all that prevented us from winning. I think their other goal was well worked, but that one was a bit of a freak. That doesn't happen very often. In fact, I don't think I've ever seen a chip like that where it sort of just drops almost on the line. Usually they get dinked much further back at different angles like that. I don't know, it's strange. We didn't deserve the win, guys. We just have to accept it. Yeah, there's a lot of players who I've scouted who are well above our station. The idea being that I was trying to find if any of them might be interested in a loan deal. Turns out not very many players are interested in a loan deal from us. We drew in the lowest amount of money from sponsorship last season. I expect the same thing will happen this year. I do hope that we can. So we already can't do anything in the cup, so there's no way to improve our reputation in that. But a strong league season would do some good if we can be comfortable in mid-table with like one eye on the playoffs, but one sort of covetous eye because they'll be too far away. That would be for me a successful season after last year. Although realistically, we have to say that even just staying up again would probably be successful. I think the board told me that to stay up is our minimum expectation, and so I'll take that. But it's always good to dream of improvements, dream of extending our ability to sign players. They're disappointed with the departure of Alberto Mareso-Condo. He's probably never going to play again, though. Can I approach to sign him? No, doesn't like me. We still do have a little bit of money, so if there was a player that came available, I could sign, and I mean, that's also £4,000 a week, or sorry, €4,000 a week, is like a star player's worth of money for us anyway. And so, it could be done. We could sign, like, if we could find that striker or that midfielder who's just going to turn the club round, I might do it. I quite like having below the wage budget for the first time whilst we've been at the club, because I think every year we've slightly overspent. The new owners definitely have a bigger purse and slightly looser strings than the old ones do, but they still haven't given us as much money as we'd wanted. Although if we continue to, like I said, if we continue to sell these players and it's a process. It happened at Lviv, it took a while. It happened at Śląsk. It didn't take quite as long there, but we already started at a pretty high level with Śląsk. And I feel like we can do this. Spinelli's back, which is a positive, although he won't be playing in the next game. Do we have anyone who's not registered who should be? No. Good. Okay. We have a much younger squad this year. Like last year, there was a lot of players who were 28, 29, 30, 32. This year, quite a lot of our players are in their early 20s, and that's only good things. That like it means we don't have so much experience, but it also means that we have a lot more resale value on a lot of these players, and the development potential is very high. And considering that a lot of them are going to be playing, they should develop relatively well. Now then, Bologna, I think we're probably not going to be favourites for this, even though we're at home. Let's see. You're right, game. Okay. Right, so what went wrong in the last game? Well, Olivari didn't play well. Let's bring in Giannoni, but otherwise let's leave it. We're going to give you a nickname. Big Grikopolos. Big Grikopolos. He's not that big, but he is Grikopolos, so it makes sense. Sanchez didn't play well either. Maybe we'll bring on... Oh no, did he though? He actually did. He did play that badly. Let's play with Luis Ramos anyway. Estevez is knackered. Spinelli's also tired, so maybe we'll bring in... Where's my boy? There he is. Just for the yucks, and I think otherwise the team is pretty good. Ciardelli did dreadfully though, so I think what we're going to do is bring in Morelli, let him play up top with Sarmiento, and then Caballero again can come on. He's only 17. Good, so we're doing okay. They're in pretty good form. I'm going to say come on lads, and then I'm going to calmly say I think there's a lot more to come. The passionate team talks did seem to work a lot last season, but it doesn't always work from the get-go. You often have to use it at half-time, I think. So yellow card within 2 minutes. That's nice. Good. Nijhuis to Granerud. Granerud. Big ball forward. Strange. Oh, and Ramos hits the ball wide. Bad defending there from Bologna. They're playing with that weird... Yeah, that classic formation. Milano's ball back in. Giannoni, oh, unfortunate, and we've headed wide. A couple of shots gone just wide in the early stages. It is clear, even from these first two league games, that we are creating a lot more chances than we did last season. Even if the quality of the chances are not necessarily, we're definitely not converting them in the sort of level that I'd like, but we're certainly a better team than we were last year. You can see that the way that we're actually making chances. And the games that we're watching are not just the other team pushing us and pushing us and pushing us the whole time like it was at the beginning of last season. We turned that around towards the second half of the season a little bit. I think maybe as the team sort of grew to know each other a tad. But it's a great goal from Milano. What on earth is he doing over there? He's our left midfielder, but he picks it up on the right-hand side of the box, turns and smashes home. Lovely, lovely stuff. And we're 1-0 up again. Milano, what is he doing there? Anyway, it doesn't matter. He's scored, and I'm happy with it. 1-0. And then Orshi, straight away. They're coming back. But very poor effort there from them. Yeah, I think we can confidently say that we're better. And in theory, that means that we should be able to be a little bit more comfortable this season. I don't think we'll be going through long periods of 4, 5, 6 losses in a row like we did last year. I don't think that we'll be playoff pushing. But the fact that we're able to Milano, terrible effort. The fact that we're able to actually compete a little bit more and on a more consistent basis means that we should pick up, be able to turn some of those narrow defeats that we had last season into wins, or at least into draws, and the same. Oh, Ramos! Oh, terrible. Oh, but he does win the corner. And we should be able to turn some of those draws, if we did even have very many draws, I don't think we did, into wins. So yeah, I think we'll be able to pick up some more points here and there as we go, and I think we'll be more comfortable. I would think that maybe a 13th position or 12th or 10th, maybe top 10, but certainly just one that's more comfortable than it was this year. I'm pleased with how things are going, and then I'm going to passionately say there's a lot more come to them because, look, they actually do like it. Unlike the Lviv lot, who I assume none of them had any passion for the game. They were all just automatons working to my system. Whereas here, there's a little bit more of a human side. The human side that likes to concede goals instantly. But we're the entertainers. We're the Sammarinese entertainers, and that's the way we do things. Obviously, my passion at halftime didn't quite filter through for the first 41 seconds of the half, but I think that the rest of the half will be fine. Especially if Bologna take this long to come back when they're defending. Come on. Jesus. Right. San Marino kick off, but we don't get to see that. Players off for an injury. 53 minutes gone. 57 minutes gone. 50. Oh, God. Okay, so they are starting to put some pressure on us. 63 minutes. Insuya to Granarud, up to Milano. Let's just watch this and then we'll make a decision on substitutes. Milano. Ball into Morelli. Oh, Morelli was apparently offside and his effort was well wide. Big Grikopoulos is seemingly struggling. Let's bring on Marchant. And I think Ramos is also playing bad. What is it with our wingers and playing badly? I don't know. Maybe it's because they've not got anyone good to pass the ball to, or they're not getting the ball. We'll see. Anyway, 2 substitutions. Maybe that will help us. Orshi up to Kalamotis. Marchand gives it to Nijhuis. Sarmiento. Oh, I think that was his first effort of the game, but it was a well-taken effort. Turned his man, shot, well saved. Giannoni, and Marchand has scored. The substitute has come on, and it's his first ever goal for San Marino. Come on, we're 2-1 up. That's what we like to see. A little bit of fight. 2-1. Sanchez. Giannoni hits the post again, and then Marchand smashes it home, or taps it home, whichever one you prefer. It's one of the two. It's either a smash or a tap. And it's 72 minutes. We're 2-1 up, although they have a free kick. But Kalamiotos, we've got a lot of Greek-sounding players in this division. Sarmiento's pretty tired. Let's take him off. Caballero maybe can come on and get himself his first senior goal for us. I mean, I think he scored for his previous club. It was weird that I signed him. He's a youngster, and he didn't. We didn't need to pay tribunal fees, which I don't often understand how that exact thing works. I think maybe they have to have been offered a contract. I don't know. Anyway, Milano, Nijhuis, Granarud, big ball. Morelli's running onto it. Can he score? Oh, he's gone for the dink. Oh, it doesn't quite make it this time though. Nijhuis to Milano. Milano's shot takes a deflection and it's gone out for a corner. Milano's ball in. Giannoni wasn't able to get there this time. Nijhuis, terrible first touch, but he does recover it. Terrible pass, but Giannoni manages to mop up. March into Giannoni. They're pushing very hard. Morelli, no. Longi. Huge ball, and Morelli's going to chase again. Blaiota. Giannoni surely got there first. Kus going to need medical attention. 4 minutes of added time to be played. Can we hold on for our first win of the season? Oh, Caballero. Oh, he did very well to take the ball off the man. But his shot then was straight at the goalkeeper. We've got 2 and a bit minutes to hold out. Giannoni wins the ball. Donato. Jalaska. His shot into the arms of Insuya. Plays to Granarud and back to Insuya. Huge ball up towards Milano. Milano doesn't quite manage to hold on to it. Does foul, giving them a chance to lump the ball into the box. And their goalkeeper looks like he's coming up. Oh, Caballero. Come on, Caballero. Do it. Go on. Get your goal. Oh, okay. Oh, he tried to... okay. Well, we wasted that chance there. And now they are... Okay, well done from Granarud making the foul. That's what we needed to happen. Let's not get a red card, though. Yeah, thank you. He's actually the next John Anarisa, according to the reports in the media. I didn't realise that when I signed him. I don't know, maybe it was shown on the screen and you guys saw it, but I hadn't noticed. And we've won. We've come out with a win over Bologna. That is a big result for us. We've got our first win on the board a lot earlier than we did last season. I think the first win came in the 6th or 7th game. This year we're already on 4 points after 2 games, and I feel like this is going to be a positive season for us. Let's just see where Bologna were expected to come. They're expected to come 11th, and we're expected, I think, to come 22nd, which is bottom. Or is it 21st? 21st. So we're expected to come second bottom. But we didn't. We have, so far, done very, very well. We can add a W to our home form. 2-1 win over Bologna. And looking nice and rosy indeed. Now, let's see. who do we want to watch? Because we know that we've got some teams that we're going to be... So, like, for example, Atlanta is supposed to be bad. They're supposed to come bottom. I'm not sure quite how they're doing so well. Then there's Benevento. It's hard for me to tell who this season we should really look out for. I mean, Chievo, Taranto, Pisa, all those three teams were pretty poor last year. So maybe we should find the next when we're going to play them. In fact, there's a Pisa Chievo game there. Okay, well then we'll pick up for that then. Pisa Chievo, beginning of November. We'll see how the team has done in the meantime. We also have Cesena, who they're still our parent club, even though they're in the same division as us. It's weird. Pisa and Chievo are the teams that we will come back and record next time. So see you in the next one, guys. Hope you enjoyed this bumper episode of You Stay Classy San Marino. Bye!